This is the Seller Process Podcast, where we talk about the best systems, processes, and SOPs for your Amazon business so that you can regain control of your time, build up your team, and scale your e-com empire.
Hello, entrepreneurs. If you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and leverage the power of AI tools to boost your productivity and supercharge your listings, then this episode is for you. Our guest today will share with us how to take advantage of AI tools to optimize your listings and rank your products higher on page one. I'm joined today by Jon Tilley, the co-founder and CEO of ZoneGuru, a technology toolset that helps e-commerce brands and agencies scale on Amazon through data intelligence and automation. Before ZoneGuru, Jon spent 15 years working as an advertising strategist, and he also launched multiple successful private label brands on Amazon, which started his path to launching ZoneGuru. Hey, Jon, how are you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, good to be on. I'm excited. I've seen your podcast and your YouTube channel for a while, and I'm excited to be on, Gianmarco.
Really, okay, that's great. So, in our pre-interview chat, we spoke about, the potential of all these AI tools, and now ChatGPT, it's basically everywhere. We're seeing that everywhere. So it's the buzzword these days, right? And I know you're an expert on that because you just recently added as a feature in your tool. So you know better than many other people how to leverage that tool in order to optimize our listings. And you obviously have lots of knowledge about SEO. So let's combine these together and share some good tips with the audience today. So let's start with understanding what are the main application of ChatGPT specifically for Amazon sellers, and what can they expect from it if they are doing it right.
Yeah, let's talk about that. As we get into this, I think the first thing that I would say is, when ChatGPT came out in, I think it was end of November, early December of last year, for me, I saw this as a significant technology release, and mainly because AI in itself has been around for since literally the start of the internet. We all use it in our technology we build. But this was the first real application where I could see, okay, this is going to become part of our daily consumer life, right? We'll use it in our daily capacity. And what we know now today is certainly not how it's going to look in 6 months, a year's time. It's going to get much more ingrained. So I was pretty excited by it. I think it crossed that chasm of becoming something that we can use very easy without having a super technical background. You literally just type something in and you get a response, right? So I jumped in that with our team to really investigate, hey, what is the application here, and how can we use it as part of our operational tool set for Amazon sellers or agencies, and importantly, approaching it with a very skeptical mindset, right? AI, if we can approach it and say, hey, let's be skeptical about how this can use this. Does it truly make a difference? Before we really push that out. And what we've seen overall is very impressive. It's a pretty significant piece of technology, right? So how we can use that as sellers, the first place to really start with that is content, right? That's the ultimate thing that everyone is using ChatGPT for in their daily life is we start with content. Can we write this? Can we redo this, right? And so we tested that with our listing optimization tools, specifically around SEO and the writing of content for a listing. And we're impressed with what we're seeing, and our customers now are pretty impressed. It's been beta for a while now. We were the first. We are the first in the space to really integrate it with Amazon. You're getting a fully ready page one listing, well optimized in under a minute, which is insane.
Yeah, that absolutely. I think that's the main adjective that people use. It's insane. It's impressive, right? So everybody's really surprised about the capabilities of this tool. So so that's why it's in everyone's mouth right now. So let's talk then about SEO. Like, how do we optimize? How do we use ChatGPT to optimize our Amazon listings? Kind of walk us through the process, the step by steps that you take to do that.
Yeah. One note that I want to talk a little bit more about in a few is that this is not replacing you as a content writer for your Amazon storefront or etc. Right? It's an additive tool and it needs to be used in the right way. So I'm just going to preface that before we get into the SEO conversation. But yeah, high level from an SEO perspective and why this integration works really well with Zonguru is, the ChatGPT performs like anything. If you give it good quality inputs, it's going to give you an amazing output, right? And so you've got to make sure you give it the right, inputs to perform. So, those are things like keywords, right? If we can find the most relevant keywords that work well for the algorithm, that have good search volume, relevant for your product, that customers are actually typing into Amazon to find your product, that's really important, because obviously the better your listing is optimized for those keywords, the better it's going to index, the better it's going to perform. And then secondarily, how you prompt the AI, and where you place those keywords in your listing, exact phrase, broad match, title, bullets, description, back in search terms, will impact how much juice you give to the Amazon algorithm to get it to rank your product. So being able to tell the AI, hey, these are the most relevant keywords, but when you write the listing, I want you to focus on the most relevant keywords higher up in your listing, starting with the title. That makes a massive difference, to the SEO and the algorithm and how it scores. So, that's the high level process for prompting the AI to write a listing. In addition to that, when you think about SEO, you have to obviously ensure that it is optimized for the right keywords, but how well does it also convert for the human, right? And how well is it, how do you write the listing so that it comes across in a professional manner, that it's not overstuffed with keywords, and that it makes sense is critical. And so, making sure that the AI does that in the right way with the right templatized format is also important.
Got it. Okay, exactly. So, but I'm curious to ask you, because now we know that ChatGPT may have, endless potential. So the process starts from the after the keyword research, right? Or do you also engage with ChatGPT for keyword research, just out of curiosity?
No, we don't. No, we use it specifically. We generate the keywords from our keyword tool called Keywords on Fire, which we've kind of built and perfected over 4 or 5 years, and working with Amazon as a partner and API data and our own kind of technology. But what we do really well in the space, and better than anyone, I think, is we don't just find keywords that you index for or competitors index for, which a lot of tools do. We actually really focus on not only finding the keywords that everyone indexes for, but then deduping that with actual keywords that customers are typing into Amazon, localized keywords for each market, current keywords that are being done this month, this week, and then we filter that by relevancy. So we have a very strong intelligence built around relevancy for your main buyer key term. And then we cut out all the non-relevant terms. So when you feed that as a relevant subset to the AI, its performance is much higher than if you include a lot more keywords with a lot of non-relevant stuff, right? So that's one of the things that you test with AI is how much information do you give it versus overloading it with too much information, and then it doesn't perform well.
Yeah, okay, makes sense, absolutely. So then, as we said, the process starts from, prompting. So basically writing the right keywords to the system, giving the right keywords to the system so that it will give us back, what we're looking for. So in this case, the title, bullet points, and description, and so on. So how do you go about that? Like one by one? So for example, give us some example about prompt. Is it that like one by one, first the title, then the bullet points? How do you, what kind of prompts do you type into ChatGPT?
Yeah, so importantly, if you go directly to ChatGPT, you could probably, if you have a good baseline of keywords from any, obviously Zonguru I would say is the best, but wherever you get your keywords from, you could work with ChatGPT directly, prompted with the keywords, try and give it some product awareness, try and give it some sentiment around the bullets. Tell it to write the title with this many characters, tell it to write the bullets in this way, tell it to write the description in this way. Again, those are a lot of prompts that you would have to give it, and creating a structure that would work with ChatGPT. And on top of that, you have to pay a license fee to use it, right? So you could manually figure all of that out within ChatGPT, or you could literally just use Zonguru, where the cost of the AI is already included in our subscription. We don't charge extra for that, and all of that process of prompting it is automated. So you just literally just add the keywords, and all of those prompts we take care of. And now, to your point, how do we prompt it? The order of prompts is important. The focus on product awareness is really important. Whether it's a pizza peel that is wooden or a pizza peel that is metal, it makes a difference. The quality of the keywords is important. The cleaning of the keywords is important to remove brand terms, non-terms of service words. All of those kind of things are critical when you're prompting the AI. And in addition to that, sentiment around your bullets, and what are the benefits that customers really care about, and ensuring that it understands what are the main benefits for that product, and writing that listing in the appropriate way, where the title is not overstuffed with keywords but has your main keywords, and then it's exact and phrase matched, which is really critical. The bullets start with your benefit first, and then describe that benefit afterwards. These are the kind of things that we tell, in a list of prompts, we tell the AI how to perform, and we do it in the right order so that the output is correct. And we've tested that a lot, and we've given it exactly the same prompts in different orders, and it doesn't perform as well. Or we've given it too many prompts, and it gets confused and it doesn't perform. So getting that balance between prompts, order, and amount of information is critical. And so we've been obviously figuring that out over the last while.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I can tell it could be really time consuming, going through the, kind of the learning process of giving the right prompt, and doing all this trial and error basically until the AI gives you back the right title and bullet points. So obviously then we need to basically tell the AI about maybe the tone of voice even, right, or the main benefits of the product, so it can combine everything together and give us something that makes sense. So I guess that's the main job, our main job, to give the right prompt. But I'm wondering, should we, once we get the output, should we just copy paste the content or that we get from that, or should we rephrase it? How would you go about that?
Yeah, it's a good point. And going back to that initial aspect that I brought up, is that this is not a job replacer for us as sellers or as agencies. The goal here is not to just input the keywords, write a listing, and post that directly to your listing. You can, but I think everyone is missing a massive opportunity to really finesse it and get it to the point where it's really ready to be posted onto your storefront. And so the key point here is it's not replacing you as a copywriter. It's moving you from being a copy content writer to a content editor. right? So you prompt the AI, it returns a listing in under a minute. That is, in our analysis, is typically 30% better optimized than the best listings on page one from a keyword perspective, and we can talk more about that in a minute. But we see it really being more optimized, written in a good way. But that's a baseline that you should then look at, and you bring your creativity, bring your knowledge of the space, your understanding of the benefits, the insight that you have on customers, and tweak that listing and get it to a place where you think it's ready to be published. So all of that hard work that's done around creating a listing from scratch, you can replace that with ChatGPT. So you're just getting a massively good start on your listing, and then you just focus on the tweaks where it needs to be tweaked, and then you post that. So that's the right way to use this. And you don't have to rephrase everything. Some people are concerned about plagiarism. We have a tool called IP Monitor where we check what is written by AI, and whether any other listings are using those specific pieces of content exactly, and there's no match on that front. So importantly, you still need to go and edit yourself, but there's no concern that you're using exactly what a competitor is using on their listing.
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. So I liked actually this kind of change of mindset that you're saying. We should we should go from being content creators to content editors, which it's a good kind of a mindset shift that we should go through. And I think also these technologies will kind of help to level up the playing field. So I don't know if help is the right word. Actually, it's going to make it more difficult for some other people. But maybe when we were saying that Chinese sellers, for example, they're kind of famous of using like Chinglish in their listings. Now they might be very happy about the release of ChatGPT, because they can actually very simply make a well-performing and with correct English listing. So that's gonna be a challenge.
And I think yes and no. I think anybody listening, if you're a true seller, you should be putting in effort to your listing. It's the heartbeat of your business, and you need to do a great job on that front. I think like any technology, as the improvements happen in technology, it pushes us as humans to focus on our expertise and our creativity to make things better. And you don't have an excuse just to do things poorly. You have to really put your 100% effort into something. And so, in this case, it's helping you to push you to be more focused on the things that truly matter, which is your expertise, your creativity, and that's where you stand out compared to competitors, right? So it's just making sure that we set a higher bar for all of us as individuals, right? Which I think is important, and that's the beauty of how we move forward in a technological world, is it makes us focus on our craft as humans, which is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Yeah, 100% agree with you. So, Jon, you actually let's switch gears, because you're actually providing, as in every episode of this podcast, we share some content with people, complementary materials that people can download. In this case, you guys will be able to download an SEO guide, basically for Amazon. So I wanted to go a little bit in there, since we're talking about listing optimization. So I just want to leave people, other than the knowledge of how to use these AI tools, some other practical tips on how they can improve their SEO. How can they improve the product discoverability on the first page of Amazon? Give us your best tips.
Yeah, sure. So there's an SEO handbook that we'll give listeners. So I know you include links to download that. But I think in the theory, at a high level, the way to approach SEO is to understand that what we call contextual SEO, right? Which is when you're optimizing your listing, you need to optimize it for the algorithm, right? And that's based on obviously keyword research, and placement of those keywords within the listing, as we just talked about, starting with the titles, etc. That's your first one, and ensuring that you're indexing for the right keywords that customers are actually using to search for your products. So that's number one. Number two is optimizing your listing for the human, right? Which is truly understanding your avatar, your customer, what is their emotional needs and wants, and how they connect with the product, and then writing your listing to match that. So that's focusing on the right benefits that truly make a difference to the buyer decision process, right? And there's ways to understand, what is the information that your buyers need to convert, right? And ideas like tonality, especially if you have a brand that might come into play. We'll be releasing tonality with ChatGPT as well, but tonality is an important one. So looking at your customer and what converts best for them is important. And then the third piece is less important, but understanding where your customers are focusing, and are they focusing on the right areas, or can you do things differently than what they're doing, especially around keywords, or what are the opportunistic keywords that you could potentially focus on and get better conversion rate for than your competitors. So those are, like, in theory, the key elements to your SEO, and everything is driven by conversion rates, right? So at the end of the day, you can create the most amazing listing, but if your product falls short, you're not going to convert. Or if you're missing some key aspects of the buyer decision process, you're not going to convert. So understanding, how your conversion rate is impacted is critical. And some of the tips I'd give you there is, obviously, you have to have an amazing imagery and product and overlays around the benefits. And more importantly, the dimensions. Every single aspect and dimension of your product needs to be in there from a visual perspective and from a description perspective. So that's number one. I would say use all of Amazon's programs, whether that's, their social, aspects within Amazon that you can use, like Amazon Posts, or any other program you can get access to. The more programs you use, the more they're like, okay, well, we need to give you more traffic, right? So I would say that's going to help you get awareness. And then, I think that probably high level that, obviously, having some kind of outside traffic strategy is critical, and will really help you get better traction by driving outside traffic and converting that into sales, because Amazon loves that, because you're generating sales from something that they couldn't generate themselves, right? So those are all critical aspects to really improving your overall SEO rank on Amazon.
Got it. Yeah, that's very interesting. I agree with you also, especially when you said about using everything that Amazon is giving you, because obviously, if you use more of the tools that they're providing, you're going to get some kind of a better treatment, let's say. As you said, for example, using Amazon Posts, I'm having quite good success, I would say, with my brand using Amazon Posts, and I think it's something like really underutilized, that people are not using it much. I think it's a free resource that it's bringing dozens of new clicks to my listings every week, as I see from the chart. So and based on the conversion rates that I have in my products, I know for sure that I'm getting many sales from the Amazon Posts. So it's definitely a tool that is underutilized. Maybe we'll have another episode about this, about Amazon Posts.
And also you get an in terms customer list, right? Because any followers on that are people that you can communicate with other launches and stuff. So you're creating followers within the Amazon platform for your product, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, I just noticed a few days ago that they removed the beta mark beside Amazon Post. So there used to be this kind of beta badge, but now it's not there anymore. So it means that they kind of figured out that it's going to stay. They are not going to, maybe they tried it and now they confirm that Amazon Posts are going to stay. So that's another reason why you guys should use it, because it's going to stay. All right. So going back to what you mentioned in the beginning, there's actually lots of opportunities to use ChatGPT for content creation, as you mentioned in the beginning. So what are those? Let's give some inspiration to people, which that they might not know. What can they use it for besides the Amazon listings? Just give us some few more ideas.
I mean, honestly, I haven't explored that much in my own life and in my business. I know a few people on our team have got super curious with ChatGPT and use it in everyday life. And I think the best way to think of it is as a virtual assistant, right? So anything that you're focused on that takes a lot of your administrative time, it's pretty easy to go in there and see, hey, can ChatGPT do a better job? So, typically it's any content that you need to create, any email style, aspects that you want, or any information that you want to display in a table, however you want that formatted, you can do that. So, I would say that's the starting point with all of this is just using it for any laborious type content pieces that you need to quickly create in any style. It can do that, and then you just have to look at it and finesse it, right? So that I would say is basically how I would be using it right now, and that's to any job, any application, right?
Yeah, for sure. For example, recently I've been using it for the creation of some lead magnets. So basically like PDFs with like a guide, for the brand avatar, for my customer avatar, that, talking about different things to do with kitchen cleaning products and so on. So it's an interesting guide, and it's 100% made by ChatGPT, and it was prompted by, I gave the instructions on how to make the prompts to my VA, and she created a prompt and put together this lead magnet, and then we gave it to the designer, and she made it look pretty, basically. So we had basically a 25 pages lead magnet that we're going to use to get emails, basically for free, with no time used on my end, basically. But obviously I trained my team to do that for me. But it was a pretty cool experience, getting a well done lead magnet from a person that doesn't even speak very well English, right? So my VA doesn't have like that ability to speak English, but she wrote through ChatGPT basically this amazing piece of content. So it was a very good experience. Do you have any suggestions on any other AI tools that besides ChatGPT that we could use for Amazon?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some pretty interesting applications lately. I know there was one that I ran into, and I forget the name, but the audience will have to Google it. But, there's an AI right now, and I think it does use part of ChatGPT as part of its AI, where you can literally tell it to create a website for you, around whatever aspect you want. And it will create a website with a number of landing pages in Figma, which if the audience know, Figma are kind of the design files that you would then use to actually create a website, right? So it'll create it all in almost like a graphic design style within Figma files, all layered exactly how you need it, that you can then obviously create a website from. So, it's pretty significant, what can actually be done with AI intelligence, right? It can learn how to do Figma files and graphic executions pretty easily. So that was pretty interesting. The other one I saw was, I think it's called Synthesia, Synthesia. And that's essentially an AI that creates how-to videos around any product or any service that you have. But you can literally go in there, you can choose the style of the person, and you can just click through and choose them, and you can choose the style of the language, the tonality, and you just you can pick completely opposite ends, and it just creates a person, and then you can just tell it what to talk about, and it will just write a script and talk. You can tell it to pull in background images, or you can upload background images, and it will create like a full how-to video in however long you need it. And the demo is pretty cool because it kind of has a person who explains their whole process using their own how-to video style AI, person. So it's incredible what's been done lately.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Very, very cool. I've seen, a lot of these lists going around of the, 10, 20 AI tools, the best AI tools around. So there are definitely, some of them are really, really interesting. All right, Jon, I think we're good with time. I think we shared a lot of very interesting things. If people are interested to learn more about you, or how can they reach out, and what can you offer them?
Yeah, sure. Anybody who signs up through the link that you have in your podcast, they'll get access to the beta and soon beta version 2. Any existing customers or new customers through our partners will get access to the beta. And again, that will literally give you that listing in under a minute that you can importantly compare versus any of your current listings or competitors. So you'll see that inside of our tool, which we didn't touch on too much, but it gives you a touchstone of how well it optimizes versus the competition. That's the way to access the trial and test our solution. If you just want to contact us, go to zonguru.com. We have a support chat function and a team that is very, very keen on responding and helping people. So they'll help you there. Social channels, you can get any of us there on Instagram, Facebook, and then also LinkedIn. You can check me out there, and I've got a lot of posts there that help sellers from an information perspective. Any of those, you can get hold of us. And I think the offer is a 20% off lifetime, plus obviously the SEO handbook that you can get through this link, and access to the beta that we don't charge additional fees for. So you can get in and use that as part of your subscription, which is pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you very much for all these gifts and all for all these tips that you just shared. Thank you again, Jon. I think we will meet again here, I guess, for another episode of something about SEO or about selling on Amazon. Thank you again.
Awesome. Thanks for it. It was great. I appreciate the questions, and good luck to the audience. Keep selling. It's going to be a good year.
Awesome. So guys, remember, the key to success is to emulate the best. So take advantage of the tips that Jon just shared. Remember to download the handbook, the SEO handbook at thesellerprocess.com. You will find the links in the description or in the show notes, in the YouTube video as well. And take advantage of the coupons, the 20% off that you got for Zonguru, and also try out the beta to see ChatGPT in action with the right prompts. All right, so guys, take action. I hope you will have a productive week, and I'll see you in the next episode. Hey entrepreneurs, I hope you enjoyed the episode and learned something from the interview. If you're serious about creating systems for your business, automating processes and building up your team so that you can transfer the tedious daily tasks in order to focus on more high-level strategic tasks and work on your business and not in your business, I've created a guide for Amazon sellers named Capturing Systems and Creating SOPs that you can find at thesellerprocess.com/systems ebook, where you will learn how to leverage systems and SOPs in your Amazon business so that you can accomplish more by working less, optimize your time, automate and delegate tasks, and reap the benefits of being a true business owner and not simply an operator in your own business. Go download the ebook at thesellerprocess.com/systems ebook and start implementing all the tips and insights that I share with you. And leave us a review or a comment to let us know how the content we are sharing here is making an impact in your business. And have a productive week.